Right. Once we recapitulate what we have discussed so far about the nutrition in plants. Nutrition in plants. Okay, let's recapitulate. In the last class, we discussed about what is meant by the nutrition. Okay, what is nutrition? The procurement of nutrients by the organism body is known as nutrition. Then we also discussed how plants will get the nutrition. Previously, in ancient days, people believed that what Aristotle said about how plants will get nutrients. Okay, Aristotle what said? Plants will get everything from the soil. Okay, whatever the plant will receive from the soil, that will produce. But John Baptista and von Helmont, they proved that it was wrong. That said by the Aristotle by doing one experiment called willow tree experiment. Okay, and afterwards Stephen Hales, Priestley, they concentrated on the role of light in the plant body, in plant nutrition, and also Priestley said that if animals make the air impure, the plants make it pure. Means animals release the carbon dioxide now. That carbon dioxide will be absorbed by the plants, and again in the process of photosynthesis it will release the oxygen, right? And finally John Ingenhousz, one scientist, so he completely given one picture definition about the photosynthesis. Okay, what are the raw material for photosynthesis, what is the definition of photosynthesis, and what are the products of photosynthesis, all this he said. Now I am going to tell you the definition and equation of photosynthesis. Here photosynthesis means the process of preparation of food in the form of glucose and carbohydrates, okay, by the using carbon dioxide, water and sunlight, okay, to produce glucose, oxygen and water in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll. This is the definition. The process of preparation of food materials by all green plants in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll. It is known as photosynthesis. Photosynthesis. Let us here, once you look at here, the equation of photosynthesis. It is normal equation by using formulas. Again I wrote here. Once you see carbon dioxide, this side arrow marks left side, you can see the ingredients of photosynthesis. Means what are the raw material for photosynthesis. Okay, and by using these materials, what will be the products? Glucose, oxygen and water. Where it is happening? In the presence of chlorophyll and sunlight. Okay, let us see by using formulas. Carbon dioxide formula CO2, water formula H2O, gives rise to common chlorophyll, sunlight, and glucose formula is C6H12O6. C6H12O6 and oxygen O2, water H2O. Here we have to understand one thing. The raw material is water. In the products also we can observe the water again. We understand here? So in the process of photosynthesis, it is water is essential for photosynthesis, and after the photosynthesis also water will be formed again. That water, excessive water will be sent out in the form of transpiration. That was proved by Stephen Hales. You understand? Now we said that water and carbon dioxide, sunlight is essential for photosynthesis. Then from where does water comes? From where does water absorbed by the plant? By the soil. By the soil. In which part of the plant absorbs water? Roots. Okay, roots absorb. So once you recall the experiment which we have done in the 6th standard, so have you remembered this one? Yes. What are the apparatus here? 2 glass tumblers, 2 soft stemmed plants, water, red ink. Red ink. So procedure, if you see once, take 2 glass tumblers and fill it with water. Place the 2 soft stemmed plants in each glass tumbler. In each glass tumbler. Now add red ink to one of the tumbler. Add red ink to one of the tumbler. Here we have added to this plant. After 1 hour or 2 hours, you observe that there is a red color mark at the center or middle of the stem. By this experiment, you understand that plant absorb. This is the conclusion. Plant absorb water along with minerals. Plant absorb water along with minerals. Have you ever observed, children, when farmers applying manures like urea, any organic fertilizer to the crop fields like paddy, wheat, etc. Immediately after supplying the manures, they will irrigate the field. They will watering the field. They will supply the water to the field. Do you know why? If they not supply the water, the fertilizers will not enter into the body of plant. Only when fertilizer dissolved in the water, then only plant can taken up. Do you understand? So that here plant do not absorb water alone, along with minerals. Like here you seen red color acts like a mineral. So along with red color water enter into the body. You understand? So that we can say plants absorb water along with minerals. Here water is one of the essential component of photosynthesis. One of the essential component of photosynthesis. Okay. So without water, photosynthesis cannot happen in the plant body. So eventually they can't produce the food material. Next concept, which is another one important for photosynthesis, that is sunlight. We say sunlight is very essential for photosynthesis. Then without sunlight, is it possible to make food material? Okay. Once we do look at once the experiment. Let us see. Does the light essential for photosynthesis? What is the answer for this question? Yes, light is essential. Then what will happen if the light is absent? Plant cannot produce photosynthesis. Food materials. Okay, let us see how to prove that with an experiment. For this experiment, we need these operators. One, potted plant, healthy potted plant. Healthy potted plant. Okay, then black sheet of paper. What we need? Black sheet of paper. It is one set of experiment, it is another set of experiment. I will explain you what for we did that experiment also. Okay. So for this experiment, to prove light is essential for photosynthesis, we need to distorch the plant. Here I wrote distorched. Do you know what is mean by the distorched? Starch means food, carbohydrates, glucose. So glucose only also known as carbohydrates, starch. So already the plant contains food now. We have to remove that food material to prove that food is prepared only in the presence of sunlight. So that what we have to do? We have to remove the starch from the plant. For that there is a technique. Simply we need to keep this plant in the dark room for 2 to 3 days. Dark room. You can select any plant that have large leaves or broad leaves like hibiscus. Any other leaves you can select. Hibiscus plant, yes, mandara. Yes, sir. So instead of hibiscus, you can take any other broad leaves plant for this experiment. Okay. What we have to do? To distorch the plant. To remove the starch. Distorch means D means removal. D means removal. Distorch. What we have to do? Keep this plant in a dark room for how many days? 2 to 3 days. Then the total food material will be disappear. Will be used up by the plant. Because of in the dark room, photosynthesis will not done now. So that already present existing food will be used up by the plant. So that starch will completely not there in the plant body. Next, after the discharging, after 2 to 3 days later, what we have to do? Set up like this. First, cut black sheet of paper rectangular and cover the leaf at the center. Cover the leaf at the center like this. This side open, and only one portion, the middle portion we have to cover. Okay. Then keep it for 2 to 3 hours. 2 to 3 hours. Later, what we have to do? Test for starch. Test for starch. Once recall how we have done the starch test in the first lesson. Can you say?
By the iodine solution.
Very good. By the iodine solution. Okay, with the help of iodine solution, when we put the iodine solution on the food material like potato, what is the color change indicates?
Blue or
black color. Changing color means present in the food material. But in this one problem will occur when you are doing starch test. When you are putting the iodine solution on the leaf will not change into the blue or black color. Why? Because already there is a pigment present in this. What is that? Chlorophyll. Already green color pigment is there, so that it will not change into the blue or black color. First, when you want to do the starch test in the leaf, we need to remove this chlorophyll from the leaf. Okay, for that what we have to do? We have to do this experiment. Okay, so what we need for this experiment, I will tell you. This leaf, we have to cut down and take into the test tube. That test tube will fill it with the alcohol, and one beaker containing with water, Now put this test tube in the beaker. When you heat this with the help of a burner, what happens? Eventually the chlorophyll becomes disappear. Then take out this leaf from the test tube and test with starch. When you test with starch, what happens? When you put the iodine solution entire leaf, only this portion, this side, back side, front side will change the color blue or black. I wrote here color change blue or black. Remaining middle portion do not change into the color. Why? Because this portion did not receive the sunlight. By this experiment we can say that only in the presence of light plants can able to prepare their food material. You understand?
I have a doubt, sir. We remove the chlorophyll, sir. The leaf color change into blue or black, sir.
Blue or black, whatever.
Then
Either black color or blue color it can change.
after removing the from alcohol, sir.
Removing the alcohol only after removing from. So this is the complete information regarding the. Once we recapitulate what we discussed, the definition of photosynthesis and equation of photosynthesis. Okay, from where does the water comes? From where does the plant will absorb the water and how? Okay, and next, does the light essential for photosynthesis? An experiment that helps to prove the light essential for photosynthesis, and also the experiment will help to remove the chlorophyll from the leaf. Two questions I want to arise here from this side. Okay, now you stand up. What you will do to discharge the plant? To remove the starch from leaf. What you will do?
I will keep plant in dark.
How many days?
3 to 4 days.
Very good. Sit down. Next, this side you stand up. Here, what are the apparatus do you used in this experiment?
Healthy potted on plant.
Very good.
Black fish.
Very good. Here in this experiment,
Beaker. Runner. Test tube. Iodine solution. Leaf.
very good. Clap to him. Now, this side. Karthika, stand up. What are the raw materials for photosynthesis? Raw materials.
Carbon dioxide. Water.
Water. One more.
Blue. Sunlight.
Very good. Sunlight. Clap. This way. Excellent. What are the products in photosynthesis? Glucose, oxygen, water. Very good. Clap. Okay. After testing the iodine solution, you will observe that only this portion change into the color. So the color change indicates what? Indicates presence or absence of starch. Presence or absence of starch.
Presence.
Presence of starch. Very good.